Dawn Piercing the Darkness, Episode 4. Let's have a quick recap. 4 boys from seemingly good family backgrounds head towards the hill to end their lives. One of them is Nick, who belongs to an affluent family and was living an extravagant life when he comes to know that his mother was cheating on his father and he's not the biological son of his father. He then decides to end his life. They are led to a salt mine to enjoy a more painful death. They are escorted to a deep and dark salt mine to experience a more painful death. Craig Walls was a genius and had everything one can dream about. However, arrogance and pride made him touch the ground, and he's also on his way to forbidden death. Brandon O'Hara, an ace footballer, lost his career due to the severe ankle injury that made him devastated. The 3 boys are led towards a hilly side by Jacob, and there they enter the Shaolin Remedial Center. Episode 4. As a trio along with Jacob enter the Remedial Center, they witness vast grounds and mud arenas. It dawns on them that this center basically trains wrestlers from all around the country. Oh, so maybe a wrestler may strangle us, thought Nick. Or maybe even if 2 or 3 of them sit on me, I'll be off in no time. What a clever lad that Jacob is, wonders Craig. Jacob then leads them towards the main hall, which appears to be the dining hall. Over there, all sorts of sumptuous food are placed, from lamb to chicken, rice, all sorts of breads and lentils. For dessert, all sorts of trifles and puddings, along with fresh fruit and nuts could also be seen. The 3 wonder in amazement as they see burly wrestlers hogging food as they haven't seen it before. Just aside from the dining hall was a humble dwelling where the great Shaolin sat. Shaolin appeared to be a man aged between 60-65, dressed in a simple white shirt and loincloth. For an aged man, he had an enviable physique and enjoyed amazing health. His face glowed with contentment and spirituality. Shaolin welcomes them with open arms and is really delighted to see them. He then gestures to his servants to take the trio to their rooms so that they can freshen up for dinner. The 3 lads go to their rooms and change into the clothes provided by the center. They are ushered to the dining hall, but the sight of food makes them nauseous. However, Shaolin doesn't force them, so they just have a little snack and call it a night. Early in the morning, they are woken by the servants by sharp knocking sounds. "Hey, it's 3 a.m. in the morning!" cried Brendan sleepily. He then goes back to sleep. The others are also in the same condition. However, the servants barge in. The doors actually don't have any locks, so they pull the boys off the beds and bark that they are forcing them by Shaolin's orders. The boys, thinking that Shaolin must have ordered these guards to kill them, silently leave beds and quickly freshen up. Soon they are brought to the grounds, where they see the wrestlers praying. It's such a serene environment that even they are lost in the divinity of the atmosphere. The 3 have never in their previous lives awakened so early, so it's kind of a different experience. After the offering, the wrestlers do several strenuous exercises like pulling huge dumbbells, sit-ups, push-ups, etc. Some even fight in the mud arenas. Anyway, the boys are greeted by Shaolin, who assigns them their trainers. The boys were taken aback because this was not what they were thinking. Where is this Jacob? But strangely, they hadn't seen him since last night. Jacob Waldo, half American, half Irish, although orphaned at a very young age, still had vivaciousness in his blood. He always had high spirits and preached to others as well to be happy. Little Jacob was orphaned at the age of 10 and was admitted to a convent orphanage. The nuns always said the sun always shine upon him, and he was a blessed child. True to the words, whenever a new child was admitted, Jacob became its friend and made it feel at home. But things changed when Jacob was 18. Now it was time to leave the comfort of his nest and to bear the real world. However, the world was not so kind as Sister Doris or gentle as Father Horace. He noted one thing: orphans were always frowned upon, and treated as low-grade citizens. Wherever he went for job, people always asked for his identity and where he belonged. Sooner he landed a job as a waiter at a cafe and found residence at one of the youth hostels. But that was not enough to pay for his college. He wanted big in his life. He wanted to remove this orphan mark from his forehead. For 4 years he worked in that sleepy cafe, but nothing came his way. Meanwhile, he did pursue some small-time courses in various skills like plumbing and carpentry at a local community college, but kindly waived his fee by looking at his financial condition. And then one day something dreadful happened. He fell in love. A beautiful nymph of a girl, Sybil Miranda, entered the cafe, where he worked with a group of her friends. It was love at first sight for Jacob, however one-sided. She frequently hung out at the cafe, but didn't notice 2 eager eyes waiting for her to step in. The poor guy didn't have the nerve to go introduce herself. What will she say? However, he was still hopeful until the not-so-nymph Sybil flashed a diamond on the middle finger of her left hand, boasting about being engaged to an industrialist's son. Jacob drowned in the sea of inferiority complex, never to be able to reach ashore. He was found nearly dead under the effect of a deadly poison at the conservatory near the convent. He was found by Father Horace, who rushed him to the hospital and thankfully saved his life. Father Horace, without wasting any time, sent Jacob to his childhood friend Shaolin, and then he found himself in the remedial center. Brandon was made to do 500 push-ups, but after 3 he collapsed. A bucket of cold water was splashed on his face, and then he was made to do the rest. Craig was hanged upside down to a monkey bar and was asked to swing 200 times. But after about 10 swings, his head started to spin. But the trainer made him complete anyway. Nick was given light dumbbells and was told to swing each arm 100 times. Poor Nick had an arm sprain, but the trainer was adamant and made him complete. After that, the 3 were told to run 10 rounds of the whole estate. I guess they're killing us slowly like slow poison so that we don't feel anything good. So good thinking, said Nick wisely. They were panting like wild dogs when they just completed half of a round. Shaolin paused, and then they were rushed to the breakfast table at 6 a.m. in the morning. As usual, the breakfast table was full of milk, cream, butter, cheese, eggs, both boiled and fried, all kinds of bread, and lots of fresh fruit. In no time, the trio was hogging like the other wrestlers, a little surprised at themselves, but hunger got to them. When finished, they were told to complete the 10 miles, which they completed in nearly 4 hours at a tortoise speed. They were given a rest period from 10 to 11, in which they were told to roam around the town and observe. From 11 to 12, each one of them was given a household task. Brandon was told to sweep and mop the whole center along with 5 other members. Craig was told to mow the grounds with 6 other members. Meanwhile, Nick was told to assist in the kitchen. The 3 very much pampered lads were performing these duties obediently to the muse of Shaolin.